welcome back.
I know, it feels like forever, but I guess it's not been but 2 weeks.
Yeah,
so
right.
Here we are.
Episode 8
Yes.
of Something to Crow About.
And today we have a fun guest with us. We were doing some chit chat before, but we are also talking about like the impact that the fair has. And I think that's sort of been a theme that we've been carrying throughout all of these podcasts is what impact the fair plays in everyone's life.
Right, and not only for the 6 days, but the rest of the year as well.
Yeah, when you look at the fairgrounds versus the fair and all of those things. So I'm excited to hear some stories today. You know, I love a good story. So we have Geno DiFabio, Chair of the Mahoning County Commissioners, with us today. So welcome, Geno. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we appreciate you taking the time to be here.
So are you the newest commish?
Yes, I've been in office since January of 25.
Nice.
So I'm about a year and a half in.
Yep. Happy with it?
I am. I something I wanted to do. I worked hard to get here. I love serving the people, and believe me, there's a lot to do. There really is.
Yeah, really. I was actually wondering when I was driving down here today to the studio, do you go to the office every day?
I do.
Okay, yeah.
I do. I told people that this will be my job. I think in statute somewhere it's a 1 day a month. You just have to show up 1 day a month.
Oh, really?
Well, I said, there's too much to do. I'm too committed. There's no way I'm staying away from there.
I didn't know that. I didn't know it was like,
Yeah, there's quite a few elected officials could just like touch base and go. Well, I care about the community. I care about being in the community and working for the community because that's what I ran for. That's what I wanted to do. I'm not, if I'm blessed to get another 4 years, I want to be able to do it for another 4 years. But I'm not going to waste this opportunity that people have given me.
No, I think that's great. And that dedication, doesn't go unnoticed.
Absolutely.
It's very important.
I've convinced my wife that, we're married, but we don't spend much time together anymore, but she understands my passion at this point in our life. So,
is she sad about that? No, I'm just kidding.
You know what? She's really not. She doesn't complain because
hands you that coffee and says, "See you later."
I don't even know where the TV controller is. I have no control over the TV. She has complete control of the TV, a house, and everything in it. So, but
it's funny how that works out, right?
Yeah, we'll be 43 years this year, so that'll be pretty good.
Well, good. So,
pretty well.
All 43 years, have you been to the fair as a couple?
Pretty much. We started, when we first got married, I took her out there. She was more into the rides and I was more into the animals. And it was hard to convince her that, she goes, okay, they're dogs, or they're cats and dogs, yeah. Horses and ducks, and I said, I like that stuff. I enjoy that. She goes, okay, now take me on a ride. Let's go get some popcorn, and it's just, everybody has something at the fair that they love. I remember as a kid, going in on the ground, seeing the Chitwood racers. You guys are probably too young to remember.
Oh, was that Joey Chitwood?
Yes. Those guys that, they'd run the tracks.
They were like stunt
wheels.
Cars.
Oh, okay.
It was awesome. I mean, everything about the fair is awesome.
How many years were they doing those stunt cars? Do you remember?
I was a little kid. Of course, I'm 40 now, so I mean, that was way long ago. Actually, I'm 63, and I was probably 50 years ago, it seems. It's hard to say that even, but probably I was 10.
Yeah.
15, not 15, so probably about 10. So it was a long time. It was
probably like the early 80s, early to mid 80s, maybe?
Late 70s?
Late 70s,
yeah.
Maybe I'm dating myself.
It's okay. But like I said, there's so much going on at the fair all year. It's I attend a lot of the stuff that's out at the new center out there. Mm-hmm. There's different events. It's a beautiful place. They did a great job, and the fair board does a great job.
Yeah, and we do appreciate, speaking on behalf of the fair board, we do appreciate the support of the commissioners. But I mean, that's not why we're here, to fluff everybody up, but really just to talk about so you went as a kid. Are you from Mahoning County?
Yes, I grew up on the east side, and then we moved to the west side. I graduated from Cheney High School. Me and my wife got married. We went to Florida for a year. And then we came back. We make our home actually in Lansingville in the city.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you have they still have the parade, right?
Yes, they had the parade the other day. They did.
Nice.
It's still in a very nice neighborhood. I mean, Youngstown, it gets a bad rap for a lot of reasons, but it's still a great place to live. It really is. There's areas anywhere that you wouldn't want to mess with or whatever.
100%.
But I'll stick up for my city all the time, and I do. I get to represent the entire county as a whole, and that's great too.
Is there any way you can get them to open South Avenue so we can come downtown?
Every day I go to work. I come up to South Avenue. I'm coming down South Avenue, and I'm always in the wrong lane. I got to turn down left to go over up to Market Street and down.
That's I didn't even think about it today. Yeah. Getting on 680, I was like, I should have just went down Market Street.
That's another story.
Yeah, I went down to Poland Avenue.
That's ODOT. ODOT's doing 680.
Okay.
That's not the commissioners. That's not
not the
and I'll
county,
stick up
not
for
the
Pat. Right. It's not the engineer. We have nothing to do with that.
All right. So now that we've got that covered, but I don't know.
So some of the things you talked about the fair. I remember going out there with my father, and let's say this: the shows used to be different. They used to have the so-called like freak shows at the thing, and it wasn't made up, but I mean, there was ways they did these things, illusions. Mm-hmm. Well, they had one guy there who caught a bullet in his teeth. He was going to hold a bullet.
No way.
Yes, and he had a guy
From a gun?
From a gun. And he asked anybody in the audience has any, experience with firearms. My father said, oh, yeah, I'm a policeman. So he said, okay, sir, take this gun and load it. He said, here's the bullet. Loaded the gun. He says, he's going to fire it, and I'm going to catch it in my teeth. And I'm saying, yeah, right. I said, this is a trick. I see my father put the round in the gun.
So it was empty. He put the real bullet.
No, put a real bullet in the gun. And the guy's holding like a ribbon, a red ribbon. And when he dropped it, the guy fired, and the guy pulled a 20. It looked like a 22 or something out of his teeth. And I says, and I'm probably
holding nothing
12,
in his mouth.
Nothing in his mouth, nothing behind him. And he showed on the back where he had a couple scars, and I don't know if that's what it was. He goes, I've missed a few times. But I mean, that was like,
wow.
That's a memory I always did. Yes, that's a memory I always have. Then another time they had another thing with that. They had a guy who was an escape artist. So they says, we need 2 volunteers. So me and my cousin went up there, and he goes, all right, I want you to take this rope and tie my hands behind my back. And there's always a crowd, whatever.
Are you in the midway or are you in the grandstand?
No, this was actually in one of the
buildings?
Tents.
Okay.
Had like tents back in the day again. So we get up there, and I grab one end of the rope. He goes, both you guys pull the rope tight. Tie me as tight as you can. So he says, okay, am I tight? And he says, yeah. He goes, okay, come in front of me. And then like within 2 seconds, and everybody started laughing, and I didn't realize in a second. He goes, all right, you go off over there, and you go off over there. And he pointed out, and here he's loose in like 2 seconds. I mean, it's just the things they had. And then there was the lady, and I'm not only going to talk about freak shows, but
no, I could talk about freak shows all day long.
There was the lady with the knives. They cut the body. She lays in a box, and the guy slides down and he pushes it down, and you think, how did they do that? Because he taps it and everything. And then I think it was for an extra $1 or 75 cents, whatever it was, you could go up and see how they did it. And this woman had contorted herself
like
back and forth, and they said the extra money is because she has to stay in there longer. But it's stuff like that. I mean, you can't, for some reason, you can't do that anymore. You wouldn't do that anymore because
And I don't think there's people who do that anymore.
No, I don't think there are. But those are some of my early memories of the fair.
That's
a lot of my
fun.
later remember, and I'm sure this has happened to everyone. I lost my car.
Wow.
I had my kid with me, and I thought, wait a minute, I know where we parked. What gate did we come in? He goes, oh man.
Well, I was going to say, people know those fairgrounds like the back of their hand, and you could still, when everything's not there versus when everything is there, it is completely different because I feel like I have a pretty good grasp finally on the fairgrounds, the layout, and then I'm backwards as soon as everything's up. There's rides, there's concessionaires, and you have no idea where you are.
But I think this is the perfect time for you to give a shameless plug
to the fairgrounds app. You can download the Canfield Fairgrounds app, and you can drop a pin where you park. So you can. Awesome. There's a map on there. You can pin where you park, so then you can come back to it.
Where was that when I had a crying kid say, "Dad, I'm tired. I'm not
Where's
carrying
our car?"
you.
I know.
Well, if you have grandchildren, we've got you now.
Yeah,
right.
Okay,
that's what I think. My parents called me last year. They were like, "I cannot find my car." I'm like, "You don't have the app."
But I was always, amazed at how many people camp out there and stay out there for the week. I mean, it
really becomes a city.
It does. And a funny story. Of course, when I was campaigning, there's no place other. I tell everybody, where can you meet 300, 400, 500,000 people in a week? Mm-hmm. Where else are you going to go to meet that many people? So there were these jar openers I gave away, and this guy sent me
rubber,
the rubber jar openers, and it had my logo and whatever on them. And this guy shows me this, and he says, "Did you give this to me at the fair?" He found me on Facebook, and I said, "Yes. Are you voting for me again next time?" He goes, "I live in Las Vegas." He said, but it was he goes, well, I use it every day. I just want to let you know. I said, okay,
that's fun.
If you come back for the fair around next November or whatever.
We did a map last year of the United States and let people put stickers where they came from. And we had the United States, and this year we had to expand it, spoiler alert, to the world. We need a globe because people were literally writing with a pen what country they were from.
People were taking Sharpies and drawing the outline of their country and putting their sticker. It was crazy.
I mean, I think everybody, anybody who's been to the fair wants to come back. A lot of people in Ohio have heard of the fair. I mean, it's like, and the first time I went to the Ohio State Fair, I forget what year that was, and I wasn't as impressed with it as I thought I was going to be. I think because it's more wide, it's more spread out. I mean, the Canfield Fair.
It's a different feel.
It is. It is.
Right.
There's nothing like the Canfield Fair. There's nothing like being there during that week with all those people. And I'll tell you another story if I have time.
Yeah, please.
I love
Our
stories.
bell. Our bell.
Yes.
So I'm a county commissioner.
Let's give some backstory to the bell also, because it's on the fairgrounds now, but it'll be
some pictures.
Right.
Yeah, Ella will throw pictures up in here, but it'll be unveiled when the fair comes around on September 2nd, and it's down at the Western Reserve Village. And that bell, are you going to talk about how it got there, or do you need us to?
I was getting texts from different county commissioners. We have an association. There's like, I forget how many altogether. But everybody's saying, what are you doing with your bell for the 250th? What are you doing with your bell for the 250th? So a couple county commissioners I met at different things, and I said, I'm not going to put it out here because I might look, what are you talking about? So I said, what bell are you talking about? And they said, I think it was 2003, there was a bell struck in every county for Ohio's 200th birthday. Mm-hmm. And I says, well, they had to do it in Mahoning County. They said, they did it in every county. So I started asking different people at the county. I said, where's my bell? They said, what do you mean? I said, there's a bell. I want to know where's my bell,
Ring my bell.
So we did. So we ended up locating the bell. We got it back, and our facilities guys shined it up and polished it up because it was just sitting outside in the corner.
It's nice looking.
I was going to say, it is very nice looking.
We redid the stand, and we put it in I said, I want it displayed in the courthouse, because I'm big with history, with the area, you know what I mean? I do.
And the bell was rung, I believe, because I read the plaque that will be displayed with it. The bell was actually struck at the Canfield Fairgrounds in 2003.
I think they meant, when they say strike, I think they meant that's when they actually casted it at the fairgrounds.
Yes.
Because they casted it in each county. They took this portable...
You're right. That is what it says, and I just didn't believe that that's what they actually did.
They did.
So.
They actually poured it at the fairgrounds.
Huh.
And they did that in each county. And said, this is your bell. This was poured and then struck in your county.
Oh, that's
and
cool
I'm big on history. I mean, I'm proud of that.
Yeah.
I'm still proud when people say the Still Valley. There's young kids that have no idea what that means. You know what I mean? And that's about us. That's about the people that live here.
And it's about telling the positive side of the story instead of just the Black Monday side.
Right. Absolutely. And listen, I want to be the biggest advocate for this area as much as we can in any way, because like I said, I'm proud. I'm proud, and I'll shout it from the rooftops. But having our bell, having it displayed again properly as a part of our history, I think is very, very important to me, and my fellow commissioners. They agreed.
Yes, and I love that it's at the Western Reserve Village. I think that's a really appropriate place for it to be during the fair, and
people could see it and take pictures with it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's got to be somebody else besides me that's proud of their bell.
Definitely, and people who may not realize but take the time to read the plaque and read the story.
What it stands for.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And it's bigger than you would think.
Yeah,
I know there was a lot of confusion when we were getting the bell of what exactly,
and talking, where it was going to go,
how we were going to display it.
Yeah, the picture doesn't show it as much, but yeah.
But yeah, it's significant.
Yep.
And if you've seen the Liberty Bell, it's actually not much smaller than the actual Liberty Bell.
So yeah,
which is a smidge disappointing, but fine.
Have you been to Philly and seen those displays? I mean, boom, boom, boom. They have that's something. They have great stories in there when they tell the guy that takes you around and tells you about the stories. How, I don't know if it's the architecture or what, but there's a window that's not really a window, but because they had to have it equal on both sides, they just put a frame around it, like it looked like it was a window.
Yeah, so they've got symmetry.
Georgian style or whatever the heck it was called, but yeah.
Well, speaking of Philadelphia, one of my favorite parts of that trip was always cheesesteaks.
Oh, yeah. And there's a Geno's.
And there is a Geno's.
And I think the other one's a Jimmy's.
Oh, it's Geno's and Pat's are the two that compete.
Pat's,
but I'm sure there's a Jimmy's as well.
Well, we went to Geno's.
Okay.
And there, yes.
I went to both, but I can't remember which one I liked best, which is... I'm sure it was Geno's.
Look at the guests.
I know. Read the room. Read the room.
I'm sure it was Geno's.
I'm sure it was Geno's.
I know. I feel like I missed out.
People won't see the look I'm giving you for not saying Geno's.
No, it is videoed.
It is videoed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, you can give me a dirty look again. So Geno's was my favorite cheesesteak. But speaking of food, when you go to the fair, what is your favorite?
Corn dogs.
Really?
Corn dogs. Yes. I don't.
Which one?
I'm a very picky eater. Just a regular.
Not like
Hot dog on a stick.
Is there a brand or a stand that you prefer? You're not? Okay.
No. I'm a very picky eater. And all the great food, I'll take my wife. And my wife doesn't, she's little, she doesn't eat much. But she'll try anything out there, you know what I mean? And I'll let her try her stuff, and then I always go for the corn dogs.
What do you put on it?
Nothing.
Oh, by itself?
Listen, when I was, yes.
I feel like that's a hot take.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, when I think I was 14 the first year, maybe 13 the first year, I worked at Idora Park. And I worked at the hot dog on a stick stand. And if you brought in a pack of hot dogs, that was the deal, and you worked there, you could have a free one until your 8 hot dogs were gone. That's just the way it worked. And
so is there a difference between a corn dog and a hot dog on a stick?
not really.
Okay.
Not really. The coating's just about the same.
Okay.
The cheese on a stick is okay. I mean, it's about the same. They dip cheese literally in the batter and put it in the fryer. But I'd say that's that. And the French fries without the vinegar, no vinegar.
No, I don't do vinegar
Because
either.
I don't do vinegar on French fries.
Gross.
The sausage sandwiches are plain, but they're very good. The Jerusalem.
Wait, you don't even do the peppers and onions?
No, I don't. Don't judge me. Please don't judge me. I don't.
Said he was a picky eater.
Listen, I can tell you stories about food, but the food is, everybody goes for the food. And one thing I noticed the last few years at the fair, where did all the bees go? Because I remember when I was younger, you were surrounded by bees, no matter where you went at the fair.
Oh, I feel like it depends where you go.
Depends where you go. Also, I think we're tiptoeing into other territory about like climate change and bees in general. And
I won't go to climate change, but
but where the bees are going.
I was
But
thinking about my thing
you're right.
from the fair. Yeah, there was always, but yeah, the food's great. This back in my sisters, all 4 of them one year worked at I think it was a Richardson's French fries,
yes.
and they made $100 a week, and they thought they were going to be rich. But then you see they work like 10 hours a day in that stand. It was $100 for a week. And when they were kids, we were all kids. I was too young. But I mean, how many kids go out there and they make extra money? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know what the deal is now, but it's still.
Oh,
it's
I
everything
mean,
about it. I mean,
there are signs when, during setup week, they are hiring, on the spot. You can go out and get a job. So when the Canfield Fair comes to town and we get to Fair Week and the week before and the week after, there's absolutely no reason anyone in this county should be out of work.
Well, yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so we've talked a lot about the fair as 6 days, which is what we're, all about, something to crow about, the 6 days of the Canfield Fair. But the fairgrounds, which is the area that, where the Canfield Fair lives, is so much more and is living and breathing 52 weeks a year.
Right. Definitely. I was going to say, there's a different schedule of events every month. There's things happening every weekend at the fairgrounds, no matter in the Michael Kusalaba Event Center or at the Western Reserve Village, there's something happening.
It is, and it's like I said, it's an economic driver. It is too for the area. I mean, everybody that comes in for the fair, if they stay overnight in the hotels,
yes,
that's not just spending money locally, but that goes towards our if they don't have a camper, that goes towards our bed tax. It supports our Convention and Visitors Bureau and our Port Authority, and just and
it's a big circle.
Imagine if we didn't have the fair. Imagine if what was it, 1 year during COVID where they didn't have the fair.
So I will do the asterisks. We technically we had a fair. It was the junior fair, so that allows us to be 180 years consecutively. Right. So we did have a junior fair that year. So it counted as a fair, but it was not open to the public due to restrictions in place by the governor.
But can you imagine if it went away?
No.
I mean, like when Idora Park went away. Now, I mean, what was that, 1980? What year did that burn? 80?
It was before I was around, before I was in this area.
But now there's all this nostalgia about it. And I wish my kid could have remembered Idora Park. I remember going to Idora Parks the same way. I mean, they remember from the fair. Imagine if that's taken away and, it'd only be a memory. I mean, that's inconceivable.
You better bite your tongue.
Absolutely. I am. I'm just saying. I'm saying how important it is and the memories that are made.
Correct.
You couldn't do that. And to not be able to make those memories is
yeah, and when you talk about the Convention and Visitors Bureau and the Port Authority, but the CVB in particular and what they do to drive traffic to the fair and
Absolutely.
How the two organizations like the county and the fairgrounds work together to bring, I think in the past we've had wrestling tournaments. I'm kind of going off memory from a couple years ago of things that we've collaborated on. I know the cover of the Convention and Visitors Bureau magazine in 2024.
The travel guide.
Travel guide.
The travel guide was an aerial shot of the fair. Was it the 24 magazine? or 25?
I think it was 25.
Yes, and we shot it in 24.
Yes.
Yeah, it was an overview at night of the sun setting and the Ferris wheel, and it was...
It's those pictures are invaluable, but as far as size-wise, I know we're one of the biggest county fairs in the state.
So we are the largest county fair in the state of Ohio.
I mean, that says something.
Yeah, and the only fair bigger than us, obviously, is State Fair that you referenced earlier.
And it's not the same feel. If you go to the Canfield Fair and you go to the Ohio State Fair, nothing against the Columbus and that fair, but it's not the same. There is nothing like it, unless you experience the Canfield Fair. There's nothing like that experience. It can't be nothing like it.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say, I think that has a lot to do with Mahoning County too. Like, people come back to the fair. They may not, like we said about the map, people may not live in this area anymore, but you come back to the Canfield Fair, you see people you haven't seen in so long, and I feel like that's just part of the Mahoning Valley and
they come
Mahoning County.
back for Fair Week.
Yeah,
and I remember school never started till after the fair, and it seemed like it's.
I think some districts are going back to that.
I feel like that's...
They should.
Yeah, now.
I was going to
Really
say,
should.
and especially a lot of the people, the cheerleading demonstrations and the high school band shows, like, kids are out of school anyways. They're at the fairgrounds Wednesday, Thursday of Fair Week. So I feel like a lot of them don't start until after.
How about our 4-H'ers out there?
Yeah, the junior fair.
It's incredibly
4-H.
impressive.
The work they put in to raise those animals to bring out to display at the fair. I mean,
Have you been to
know a
any of the
couple-
auctions?
I haven't been to the auctions.
You
yet
need
'cause
to
I've
make a
been
point
busy.
to go.
I'm gonna-
It's impressive.
I am. I mean, I know a couple of families that their kids raise livestock for the fair, and I know the work they put in, and it's all kids should have to have that kind of something to take care of, and they'd appreciate everything more when they got older, I think.
100%.
Oh,
'Cause
I
they're-
100% agree. The
they're-
responsibility and
They're great
the...
kids. I mean, we support the extension service highly and all they do. It's different from just playing video games. You know what I mean? It sets the
Up before
sets
school.
the tone for
and-
life. I mean,
And the money that they raise from those animals goes to their college education, and it's the numbers just
but
astound
it's a job.
me.
It's a
Yeah.
job, but it is a job. I mean,
Oh, they work for it.
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100% they work for it.
but I have all the respect in the world for them, their parents that help them and get them excited to do it. There's nothing bad about the whole experience with the fair and the people involved. I mean, from the people that come in, the vendors and all the concessionaires and the work they put in. I mean, you can get mad about spending $2 for a bottle of water, but it's somebody's worked very hard.
Also, what I think is interesting about a lot of the vendors is they're multi-generational. Yeah. So, not only have they been at the fair for years, but they're doing the same work that their grandfather, their parents did, and their grandparents did, and that's the industry that they've just grown up on and continued in the family business.
Yep, they're fair people. I have a friend that I worked with till recently. He has the Texas Longhorn at the fair. It's on a corner. I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah.
It's in a little thing, and he's out there all day, and people come up and ooh and ah and everything else. And I know this guy is a mechanic from where I worked. You know what I mean? And on Fair Week, he's the guy that raises the cattle or the Texas Longhorn steer or whatever.
That's what I think that's interesting too, because I have met people through connections through the Canfield Fair. Like, I know a nurse that is like, nope, my work knows Fair Week is Fair Week, and she's a mom in the 4-H and helps out with the 4-H. But same thing, how it's like you have your job, and then when Fair Week comes, it's like, well, no, I work at the fair.
There's people like me that go out just to enjoy the sights, the sounds, the corn dogs.
Yeah.
And there's other people that it's part of their
Yeah, I mean,
their
there's
year. It's
police officers that take off work to become a police officer at the fairgrounds. So they're, doing their vacation at the fair, working. I know in the office, there's bank tellers that take off to, count money and do
Fair
ticket
Week. That's
taking
what
and
they
all that.
do.
It's Fair Week. It's what happens.
That's amazing. It is.
So, well, thank you so much. Is there anything else you want to share?
I had some other things I want to talk about. Of course, I got a lot on my mind with this week.
I know.
And I can't wait for the fair. I'm there every day. I'll just say that. And I split my time between the government center now and the event, the tent that we have. Mm-hmm. And it's a great week. My wife knows she won't see me that week.
Yeah.
Because she says, I'm not walking all the way in from the parking lot anymore. So But that's
So she can watch whatever she wants on TV that week.
Listen, I always bring her home something nice.
I feel like that's a story for a lot of people.
It is. It is.
Yes.
But, I really appreciate you having me today.
No, thank you.
I encourage everyone to come out to fair. I think we might be involved with the opening when they open it.
Yep. Opening ceremonies, the commissioners are always involved, and that is
On
Thursday, 10
Yep.
a.m. on the concourse stage.
In the morning. I'd encourage everybody to come out and take a picture with the bell.
Yes.
It'll be out in Western Reserve Village.
It'll be in the Western Reserve Village. And you know what? Why don't you take a picture with the bell and tag Geno on Facebook so he can see all your bell pictures.
I'll see if you really watched this and if you took my advice to take a picture with the bell. That's great.
Yeah. And then eat a very bland corn dog.
They're not bland.
A very bland
you don't have to be.
piece of sausage.
Listen, I cook more than I eat. Believe me, I do.
I'm just teasing you.
I appreciate it. And thank you so much for having me today. And everyone, have a great summer. Can't wait to see you at the fair.
Yeah, thank you. This has been fun.
Thank you.
Thanks,
All right.
ladies.